Let's go back to the studio side of things then, and talk a little bit about some of the hardware at that end. Let's talk consoles. Kind of run me through what the console lineup looks like and how you would choose what console for what application.
Well, start with the big picture on the console side. Wheatstone has had a big presence in TV for a number of years, a couple decades
Going
anyway.
back to the 80s, yeah.
Yeah. And our transition from what I used to call the big iron consoles of analog boards with the I/O connected right to the console, that morphed into a router-based system. And for well over 15 years, we've been making router-based systems where the console is really just a control surface that's controlling what's happening in your router platform that extends into the whole facility. And the big change in that now is that router-based platform can be an IP-based platform as opposed to the older frame-based TDM networks that we've been building. And so now you have the blades available to you in the studio setup, where you have a control surface talking to a network of blades. And the blades have all the functions that I mentioned a minute ago of audio processing and routing and logic control. They all have GPI logic ports on them that are totally routable. The blade is a very, very powerful tool. Built-in mixing, that can be background mixing that happens independently from the actual console or control surface. So you have the blade capability now being harnessed and integrated with a control surface. And the control surface selection is really just a function of how much of what you need for the job that you have to do. And it really comes down to output busing, number of inputs, and types of processing that you need to do at the surface. So it's really interesting that all of our consoles offer different variations of the same stuff, because in a live TV environment, what do you have to do? And we've always optimized our boards for speed and for flexibility and ease of use, okay? So in a live TV environment, what do you have to do? You have to select a source. You have to be able to change that source quickly on the fly if you need to. A phone coupler goes bad.
Live shot goes out.
Right. So, okay, operator scrambles, needs to dial up the alternate coupler very quickly. So source selection on the fly has to be fast and easy. Mix minus, that's the second priority in a live TV environment. You need to be able to select the mix minus that you need, very rapidly. And you need to have a board that generates those mix minus outputs in a straightforward way that's easy for an operator to master. And
preferably at this point as automatically as possible, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And then your audio toolkit. What do you need to fix? How fast can you fix it? And that's something that all of the Wheatstone boards are optimized for. It's just that as you go from the entry point in the line to the IP64, the top of the line, the number of buses, mix minuses, subgroups, aux sends gets bigger, and but the basic functionality remains the same.